What do we know so far from this?
Well, this certainly escalates tensions off the coast of Vietnam. Let me give you a quick recap. The Vietnamese government says that at 4 p.m. yesterday, a Chinese vessel rammed, as you said, and sank a Chinese fishing vessel. There were 10 fishermen on board, and they were safely rescued by other Vietnamese ships that were in the area. The Vietnamese government also says that at the time of the incident, a group of Vietnamese fishing vessels were completely encircled by Chinese ships. Now, what we don't know is whether or not those Chinese ships were also fishing vessels, or whether they were Chinese government or fishery services ships, or even Coast Guard ships. We don't know those details yet. Bloomberg News has reached out to the Chinese government, and their side of the story has yet to come. So it'll be interesting once they confirm or deny what Vietnam is saying today.
And Juan, you were just out at sea, weren't you, again, in that area of the oil rig, exactly that area. How tense is it?
Oh, it's quite tense once you get out there. It takes about a full 12 hours boat ride to get out to that area. And once you're there, you realize, I was really struck by the number, just the sheer number of boats and ships that are out there of various shapes and sizes. The area of the oil rig is about, takes 12 hours to get out there. And what was surprising was that you can actually see the oil rig in the background, and on radar as well as visually, you can see Chinese ships, probably about 60, 65, maybe even more, completely surrounding the oil rig area. And as you pan the horizon in a full 180 degrees, it's just literally dotted with ships. I mean, that was really quite striking. I was on Vietnamese Coast Guard ships for 4 days, and each of those days, the Vietnamese Coast Guard ships would make twice daily approaches into the area of the oil rig to try to break the Chinese perimeter. And every single time, as soon as we got anywhere as close as 10 nautical miles, we were swarmed by as many as 5 Chinese boats who would then try to cut us off. They would, also chase us out of the area, and that was their ultimate goal, was to really get us out of the area as far away as the oil rig as possible. So I was literally on boats, being chased all four of those days that I was out there at sea, and you can really see that it's quite tense. I mean, the crew, anytime that happens, that the crew certainly on the Vietnamese ship is kind of in, they're staying obviously very calm, but you can just hear by the orders that are being shouted that it's a very, very heightened alert, and everybody's really, it's a very stressful, tense situation out there. While I was out, the first day that I got out there, I found out that morning a Vietnamese ship had been rammed by a Chinese ship, and we actually had footage of that. So rammings, do occasionally happen. It is rare that they've actually sunk a ship, and to date, this hasn't happened before. I mean, the most violent incident that happened was in 2007, when Chinese patrol boats did fire upon a Vietnamese fishing vessel and did kill one crew member on board. But we haven't had any deaths since, so this really escalates tensions.